Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I'm going to do some junk journaling in my faith planner. All right, today I am working in my faith planner for the week of June 19th, and I have a few things pulled out. First, I have these stickers. These are exclusive stickers for Patreon. I release exclusive stickers to the top 2 tiers of my Patreon every month. And for the month of June, all new patrons are receiving these particular stickers. So if you want to check that out, these are all camping themed because we are celebrating planner camp over in Patreon, and I'm having a great time. So I want to use these stickers. Love, love, love the colors of these stickers. I'm going to use those. I pulled out Mojo Jojo's jewel tone boxes, and actually I pulled out the big size because I'm wanting to use some of the square boxes for this layout. And then I pulled out some junk journaling goodies. So I love using extra papers, kind of found elements in my planners, in my journaling. And so we're going to incorporate a few of these into the spread as well. I will put you guys on fast forward. I will link everything that I end up using down below. Otherwise, let's go. With these horizontal spreads, I really like to use washi tape to elongate where I'm going to be putting the clusters. This is my faith planner. It's where I take daily Bible study notes. And so I leave most of those lines. Like, I don't want to cover up where I can write because I use that space. It's pretty important real estate, you might say. But because of that, it can have the tendency to look a little clumped. Like, I can have all of the decorations all lined up in a row, and by using washi tape to kind of draw your eye more towards the middle, for me, that makes the spread just feel a little bit more balanced. Knowing that I'm going to be putting boxes, lined up where those gray boxes are, knowing where most of my decoration is going to be centered at, this helps kind of draw the eye across the page and to connect the two pages. So it's something I like to do, especially in this horizontal layout, because I'm not doing big clusters throughout the whole spread to cover up the lines. They're going to be in very specific spots. Now, I am working with these boxes. I wanted to use the squares, and even though I'm kind of placing them around the page, this is just on sticker guides, and I'm just wanting to pick out all of the different colors that I wanted to use. I'm going to do like a jewel tone rainbow effect, trying to get all of these square sized boxes. And I want this to have a junk journal feel, kind of a vintage feel, because I feel like that goes well with the camp stickers that I put together for my patrons this month. I love the jewel tone feel, and then it has kind of like a watercolor look to it. And I thought the junk journal feel, making some little clusters that would live in those gray boxes, would be a good way to do that. So what I'm going to do is I have all these papers. The papers are actually from Illustrated Faith a couple of months ago. They had kind of a junk journaling pack. You can get junk journal papers anywhere and everywhere. I think that's the beauty of junk journaling. Picking up old books, old magazines, things like that from thrift stores is a great resource for having some extra papers to layer with. And what I'm doing is basically taking a little scrap of paper and putting it behind each colorful box. In these boxes, this is where I write the scripture that I'm studying that particular day. I don't write out the whole scripture, but have the scripture references for what I'm studying on a particular day, and then I take notes on that scripture in the lined area. So it is fun to decorate where these gray boxes are, just because I don't need a ton of room to write there. I usually have 2 to 3 scriptures that I want to reference in that day. And I love that this is going to have kind of a rainbow feel. So I'm trying to change out the paper. The papers that I'm going with, now these have like 2 sides. These are all 2-sided papers. And these are not actual vintage papers, but like printed vintage, which is another great option. I actually have a good friend that loves downloading papers from Etsy, where you can print a vintage image at home, which I think is another great way, especially if you maybe don't want to get out and search for vintage papers, but you can get that same feel and look in your journaling, and you can just print it at home. So I'm trying to go pretty neutral. These particular papers have a colorful side and a neutral side. For the most part, we're going to go with neutral because I really wanted the color to come in through the stickers and through the boxes. So this is just giving little bits, scraps, pieces, little just something of interest, and it also helps break up the kind of severe lines. When I'm going to use all of these boxes, that's a lot of linear things, that's a lot of corners, and softening those corners with layered pieces behind it is a great way to kind of build that cluster effect. Once I get all of these boxes down with the scrap paper in the background, I am just working on building these clusters, and I'm repeating the elements, like repeating the procedure, you might say, for these clusters because it's the same each day, and that makes a lot of sense with how I use, like I said, how I use this particular planner. There is a similarity in what happens each day, and so having the repeated elements totally makes sense. So with each box, it has a scrap of paper, it has a box, and I want it also to have a camp sticker of some sort. I'm changing up what the camp stickers are just depending on how I can make them fit in the area. For instance, this camper just fit easier up top and it didn't have room to fit down here. There just needed to be a smaller sticker down there. I'm switching out where the little tents are and just kind of changing it up as I go, but you can see how it's drawing your eye down the page, but that washi tape is also helping pull the eye across the page. I think I probably am not saying it correctly, but for me, it just makes a little bit more sense visually instead of having just these two long columns of decoration and of stickers. The washi tape is pulling it, and I'm not using the same corner each time for where I'm centering the sticker. So you can see I'm kind of alternating and moving those stickers around, so it's not always so predictable where it's going to be and what each cluster looks like. Even though they have all the same elements, each one looks a little bit different. I don't actually use this top left section in my faith planner at all. It has a calendar and then it has an open box. You certainly could do a lot of different things with that open box, but I choose to use that area for decoration. And what I'm doing is I'm layering some vintage paper. Sorry, it got a little off camera. I'm trying to make kind of a sunrise feel. See how it's gonna, it's an abstract feeling for sunrise. And I wanted to layer a few of the papers that I had already used on the rest of the page to kind of like repeat those elements and repeat those patterns. So I'm just putting them all together, kind of freehanding that semicircle look. Like I said, we're going for an abstract feel. So that's gonna be kind of my sunrise right there. And then behind that, I knew I wanted blue, and I actually found in that stack of papers, this is like a kind of watercolory looking piece. I just think it looks good. It's definitely got the sky kind of feel. So I'm going to cut that paper and fit it in this little area, and that's serving two purposes. It's giving me that blue feel that I wanted, and then it's also covering up the calendar that I did not want in that section really effectively. So I don't have to worry about like whiting it out or anything. So I'm going to put that on the page, and then we'll start layering our sunset on as well. Again, I'm kind of centering it around. I'm keeping that washi tape there, and I'm going to bring something else that kind of overflows onto the washi tape just to add a little bit more interest. I don't want the washi tape to be like these just big horizontal lines either. I break it up by layering some of the scrap paper over the washi tape and changing it up at the very end. So let me get this down. There is a little bit of a gap where the two papers don't meet, but because there's white on both papers, it doesn't jump out at you. And when I layer the abstract sun over the top of it, then you also don't really see it either. So I'm going to trim these off and then start to put the rest of this together. I just love how it comes out. It has a peaceful feeling. I am not like a huge outdoor camping person, but I love camping stickers, and I've loved the camping theme that we've been doing over in Patreon this month. Like I said, these stickers, I do stickers every month for my top 2 tiers of Patreon. They receive happy mail from me with stickers and usually a customized goodie from my Glowforge. But this month, the month of June, this was kind of a special month where all my new patrons also received these fun stickers as well, since we were doing a camping theme and it was all planner related. And it's not too late to join. You can, if you join today, you will still have access to all of the camping materials that we've been doing, and the exclusive videos and all of that stuff. And like I said, all new patrons in the month of June will receive these 4 exclusive sticker sheets. Another way that I like to add character in my faith planner is actually changing up the days of the week, like the font that's already there. And so I pulled out Mojo Jojo's Dated Basics, one of my go-to sticker books. I use it like all of the time, multiple times a week, I feel like. So I put the new numbers and putting the new dates. It just gives them a little bit more boldness, and I like bringing the black in throughout. And then the last thing I want to do, I want to break up a little bit of this washi tape with some stickers. So I'm going to add a few butterflies here, and then I have another washi tape. I'm just, playing with the stickers because they're beautiful. Why not fit a few more on the page? Once I get them on, the last little thing that I will need to do is pull out my We Are Memory Keepers disc punch tool, another tool that I use on the daily, and repunch some of the holes that got covered up at the top. And then this faith planning spread with a junk journal twist will be done. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I will link supplies that I used down below, but mostly these were just supplies from my stash. So you can always head on over to Patreon using the link down below and join this month to get access to these stickers. I do want to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons. You guys are the best. I love the community that is forming over there, and you can find out more information down below. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.